But for now, we're going to be looking at a group of animals that underpin our seabird colonies, particularly in the spring and the summer, and these are the sand eels. Now, we're really used to seeing sand eels in the beaks of hungry birds, hungry seabirds, but they're really important for the marine ecosystem, and they're very deserving of a little bit of attention themselves. Now, sand eels, the name, refers to a group of species, a number of species that are collectively called sand eels, and in the spring and the summer they will start to do this shoaling behavior to avoid predators, but it also allows the sand eels themselves to feed on marine plankton in the water column. They'll be feeding mostly on copepods, tiny little crustaceans that are in the water column. So absolutely brilliant little things. They all have that same body plan, sleek, silvery bodies to go through the water at speed, avoiding predators, and also allows them to bury into the sand at night, which they do every night. So in the UK, there are 5 species of sand eels. The most common are the greater and the lesser sand eels. And over here, out in the water, when they're out there in the open sea, they're rarely found at depths below 20 meters. So that means they're relatively shallow swimmers, easy access for diving seabirds and surface feeding seabirds as well. So they're oily fish, they're highly nutritious, and they'll form a really major part of seabirds' diets, especially at this time of the year when they're breeding, when they have chicks on the nest. Now, the breeding success of seabirds is highly dependent on sand eel numbers. However, there are threats to sand eel populations. It's a really complex mix of overfishing, of coastal development, offshore development, but of course also climate change. And it's particularly about a behavior that sand eels demonstrate, which is high site fidelity. It means they don't range further than around 10 kilometers from what is their home ground. Now, in the winter, the sand eels will dig into the sand and they'll stay there for the whole winter. They won't come out to feed, which means they're very sensitive to changes in their local environment. Now, of course, when the returning seabirds come here from their spring migration, they don't know that the sand eels might have had a tough winter and they'll arrive here without enough food to feed their chicks. So both groups of animals, the sand eels and the seabirds, their fortunes inextricably linked by climate change, changing climate.